So we start by going to the website, getkahoot.com, GETKAHOOT.com. All right, I'm already logged in, so I can just press sign in. It'll take me automatically there. But for those of you who have yet to create an account, you can click on the sign up for free button and it will do that very quickly. So this is the main screen. It shows me having logged in. I can create a new Kahoot. There are several different Kahoots that we can create. So there's a quiz, there's a jumble, a survey, a discussion. What we're going to focus on today is the quiz. Over on the right, we see different statistics. We see how many Kahoots that I've created. I've created 6 Kahoots as of this video. How many times these Kahoots have been played, how many times that they've been shared. We also see how many questions that I've created, not questions that have been answered, how many players that have played, and how many times that this has been favorited. We're also able to see all the results. So not the results of anyone who's ever played my Kahoot, since anyone can access this, but the results for all the players that have played my Kahoots when I've logged in. So for example, I'm logged in now. We're going to do a playthrough of a Kahoot, and then we can look at the results sometime later by clicking on that button. And in the bottom right, we also have community information that we could check out. At the top, we have my Kahoots, the Kahoots that I've created, as well as public Kahoots. So let's check out public Kahoots. So here we can do a search for the title, subject, tag, or username. We can also filter based on different requirements. So featured, all the Kahoots, popular Kahoots, what's trending near me, or also the top Kahooters. But I'm going to go down here and I'm going to search in my name, David Ring, so that I can see what Kahoots I've created. And then I'm just going to press search. And so these are the Kahoots I've created. If I want, I could also filter by only the teachers. So people can register as a teacher, and that might give you more professional results. So the Kahoot that I want to look at today is called Getting to Know Kahoot. If we press straight on this play button, we'll be taken immediately to the screen where we would host the Kahoot. We generally don't play it through this screen. People access it through their mobile phones. But since we also want to play it so that we can show everyone who's watching this video what it looks like, we'll be able to do this practice mode. To access the practice mode, we have to click on the name, Getting to Know Kahoot. Now, we can also see how many times it's been favorited in that orange rectangle and how many times it's been shared. Or we can also share it through this button as well. So let's click on Getting to Know Kahoot. Okay, in this screen, we have our title, Getting to Know Kahoot. We have the ability to edit it, a short description with hashtags, an intuitive Kahoot teaching teachers how to create Kahoots. This focuses on the different types of media. More details can be found via the Udemy course. Again, we can press the play button, go ahead and play it. We can do the preview, which is what we'll want to be doing in order to play it through the computer. And down below, we have all the questions that we have entered that are going to be on this quiz. So 15 questions. On the right, it shows how many seconds were given and how many choices. We can also click on Show Answers, and it shows the different options for what answers can be selected, and also it shows what the correct answer is. Okay, it gives different statistics on how many plays it's had, how many players as well. So we're going to hit the preview. Over on the right, we have an emulated phone. So this is what it's going to look like for our students. They're going to be logging in through kahoot.it. They're going to be putting in a PIN and then hitting enter. Over on the left, this is what the teacher will be able to see. They have a player versus player mode, classic mode, and a team mode on the right. Classic mode is what you'll want to use in most situations when everybody has their own device. If people don't have their own device, if they don't have their own mobile phones, you can click on the team mode. People have to share a phone. There are options that you can choose from. So to begin first, we have enable answer streak bonus. So if people get several answers correct, they get a bonus for doing so. One issue I've heard with this is that the bonus is so big that if you aren't getting a lot of them correct in a row, then in competitive classes, you aren't going to be able to stay on the leaderboard. So that's something to consider. So if you want to turn it off, you can just press the off button and it turns to black as opposed to green. The next is randomized order of questions. So this would shuffle which question came first. For a lot of what we're doing in intuitive Kahoots, there is a definite order to the way that questions are presented. So we want to for sure keep this off. Randomized order of answers. Sure, let's check this out. So the order of answers will be changed. Enable step 2 join. Add an extra step when joining a Kahoot to help secure the game to only the players in the room. So this is beneficial if you find other people are joining your classroom that you don't want to be in it. Display game pin throughout. So the students need a pin to join. If they get kicked out, whether they have a phone problem, a Wi-Fi problem, they need the pin to join again. So having it displayed throughout can be beneficial. Otherwise, if the other students are also logged in, they can share the pin as well. So we also have show minimized intro instructions. So in the main lobby, it gives the instructions on how to log in, which we'll see in a moment. But you can also minimize that, and that will show more people logged in. That's not that big of a change. The next is automatically move through questions. So usually you just have to click. Someone has to be on the main computer clicking through the questions. But if you press this, it'll go through the questions automatically. Once one is finished, it'll move to the next. I like to keep this off because a lot of the times I'm doing additional explanations after each slide. And so I need to take time and describe these things. So I turn it off. When it's on, I'm not able to do this. It just keeps going and there isn't enough time for that explanation. So I prefer to keep it off. If no explanations are needed and you want a fast-paced presentation, then feel free to turn it on. This also makes it so that when players join, there's a set time for them to join that gets reset each time someone joins. So that's something that you could consider. The next thing is require players to rejoin after each Kahoot. I really haven't played around with this, but after you finish a Kahoot, if you go on to another one, players would just have to rejoin it. Lastly, we have Kahoot Experiments. So these are different features that the Kahoot enterprise is going to be creating and letting you try out before they become official. So podium, I like the podium. The students seem to like it. So instead of just showing who won, it shows who got the second and third place as well, which keeps it exciting. So I'm going to come back, check out the classic, play through a classic. So it begins to load. It's waiting for the pin. And once we get the pin, the student or whoever can log on through their phone. So here it is, join at kahoot.it. Those are the instructions. This is what can get minimized. And then we see the game pin, 3851457. You enter it on your phone, and then you can enter a nickname, any nickname. For my students here in Thailand, they all have student numbers. So I tell them enter any nickname you want, but make sure to include your student number so that I can keep track of you. That also enables them to get creative. Here, if the student didn't do that, you're able to kick them out by clicking on their name. And then we've clicked start.